Intense tropical cyclone Idai was one of the worst tropical cyclones on record to affect Africa and the southern hemisphere. Cyclone Idai made landfall on the 14th and 15th of March, causing widespread destruction in Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. Recorded as the worst natural disaster to hit southern Africa in nearly 2 decades, leaving more than 3 million people in urgent need of humanitarian assistance, with children being over half of those directly affected. The storm wiped out roads, bridges, and dams as it swept through Southeast Africa. The United Nations estimated that Cyclone Idai and subsequent flooding destroyed more than $1 billion worth of infrastructure. More than 100,000 homes were damaged or destroyed, along with at least 1 million acres of crops. Cyclone Idai continued across land as a tropical storm and hit eastern Zimbabwe with heavy rains and strong winds in Chimanimani and Chipinge districts, causing riverine flash flooding and subsequent deaths, destruction of livelihoods and properties.
The situation is quite dire, so you've got people who no longer have anything, and you also have got families that were literally wiped out, or where you just have 1 or 2 survivors. So it has been quite devastating.
Mvura yakangoya ngefashamo zihombe kwabva yatovhare vanhu vese vanga vari pakembi, asi vanhu vanga vari pakembi anga ari more than 100. Mhuri yangu yese yakaparara yese. Ini ndakatosara inini chete, handina kana chandakasara nacho, ndakatosara inini chete.
Kumhuri kwedu tina baba anga ari mupurisa, saka akatorwa nekembi, neanhu awo ese anga ari mukembi, neamwe aida kubatsirana nawo, saka tangosara tiri nherera.
Tinovainzi muvhangeri mushango, vanga vari nesi pachipatara, vakashayika ivo vacho nemudzimai nemwana ainzi Bevelin Beverton nemusikana wabasa. So there were 6. Toenda panonzi mapazire vakashayika iye wacho nambuya vaigara navo. Toenda nonzi mutumwa, vakashayika mutumwa wacho, mudzimai nemwana wainzi Adolf neumwe wainzi Ruva, muzukuru wake wakazobuda. So there were 4 vakafira mutsaona iyoyo. Namwe ainzi maitsododo vakashayikwa iyo vacho vakatorwa nemvura nemwana wavo musikana nemusikana wabasa. So vaitorwa vari mafamilies.
Akashayikirwa inini nemukoro mwana watete yangu nemuzukuru mwana wake. Iyo zvivi totozwa kuti kwai ashayika nasekuru, amweni akashayika ari munhu anozwa masakukwa nabhirichovha. Tapedza kudaroko zviya takarwadziwa. Ndichogumirwa totanga ngepari hino mwari we todini anhu we.
Ndiri kurwadziwa ngokuendeswa neshamwari idza yakashayika panapo titori pano. Nemhuri yacho iri kutonetseka zvikuru. Titori kuti ichengeta kuti ionoda. Nemotikari yacho nemhatso zvese zvakachawo pese kuendoda kuna zukuru wangu yese akaroerwe motikari. Mhatso dzese mhuri dzese tiri kutotsa napo kutsvake mhuri dzakarasika.
Mvura yakanaya iyi yakandotanga kuma 8-9 takazobude mumadzimba teizobuda kudai totoona mvura yatouya kudai tozotoona mapuwe otobva atotanga kudhubuka pasi nemhatso dzese dzeitofushirwa dzese. Apo ana ichitopere kutorwa nemba dzedu dzese. Saka inini ndakatorasikirwa newana wangu 2 nanhasi handisati ndawawana.
Ndobe ndaigara panapa, ndopa pari pamba pangu. Imba yangu yakatorwa nematombo nemiti, saka pekugara handisisini. Ndatodzoka kuuya kubvisa magumbezi angu kwakuda kunaya. Pamwe ndinozorarawo magumbezi, kuti chekufuka nechekupfeka hapana.
According to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, as of the 26th of March, at least 172 deaths had been reported, more than 186 people injured, and 327 missing. The numbers continue to rise with each day. The number of deaths rose to 299, and 329 people remained unaccounted for as of the 10th of April 2019. In Chimanimani and Chipinge districts, at least half of the total population has been impacted. according to the preliminary findings of an intersector assessment mission, which confirmed significant damage. About 270,000 people were affected and 4,000 households displaced. The United Nations estimated $60 million would be needed to address Cyclone Idai related requirements.
When Cyclone Idai struck, it didn't even take us any deliberations as to whether we should or we should not. We just found ourselves immediately, responding because, life was threatened. That life included, children, mothers, fathers, and just that environment was enough for us to, put together everything we had at the time and then just rushed in to provide help. I would say that's our DNA, that's our nature.
When disaster struck on the 14th and the 15th of March, my chairman was actually in South Africa, and I know he had a trip to go somewhere, but he actually cancelled that trip because of the nature of the disaster that had struck Chimanimani. He immediately got in touch with me and I gave him an update of what was happening in Chimanimani. And we agreed, without any hesitation, to mobilize all our resources. So you find that all our group companies, from Liquid, Cassava, the bank, Econet Wireless, the mobile company, we all came together basically to put our resources in order to actually help in terms of the rescue and recover mission in Chimanimani.
Our business should positively impact our communities. It should also positively impact our environment. So matters that affect our communities, our own people, that affect their livelihoods, and that affect our environment, they make us act, and we act fast.
Higherlife Foundation, a social impact organization that invests in human capital to build thriving individuals, communities, and sustainable livelihoods, and Econet's social investment arm, was quick to be on the ground to spearhead operations in what started as a search and recover operation. With the backing of Econet and Cassava, Higherlife Foundation began coordinating the recover and relief efforts by setting up Camp Econet at Silver Streams, about 30 kilometers from Skyline, which was the stabilization and holding camp for medical evacuations. The team began by engaging earth-moving contractors to clear nearby roads, which would make movements of essential services vehicles in and out of the camps easier. This saw the clearing of around 55 kilometers of road on the Wengezi Skyline Road and 65 kilometers on the Chikukwa Chimanimani Road.
Econet Group, I just thank God that there's a group that big, and it's a blessing for Zimbabwe to have an Econet, because if you compare the response that Zimbabwe managed to put up to help those in need, Econet played a significant role in that.
Leveraging on the wide network coverage and a huge subscriber base, Econet Group and Cassava began by initiating a crowdfunding initiative in which local and foreign well-wishers would easily contribute to victims of Cyclone Idai. The group also widened the donations platform by including non-monetary donations like clothing, blankets, medical and other non-perishable items.
Taona kuti idambudziko ratiwira isu tose vechechi nevenyika namutungamiriri wedu kuti hama dzedu dzakarasikirwa nezvavanga vasina kutarisira, vamwe vakatoshayikirwa mwana vanhu, asi taona kuti zviri nani kuti ticheme pamwe chete nezvishoma zvataunganidza nemhuri yataina kuti tizokupawo kuti zviendewo kuti zvinobatsira hama dzedu kuti dziwane kurarama kwakanaka.
Econet and Cassava's intervention was more than just the collection and administration of donations. The group dug into its own pockets to provide resources that would fund on-the-ground operations. Cyclone Idai Daily Dashboard, a platform that documents every single detail of Econet's input, donations, strategies, and action plans, would be released daily to guide operations for the next day. Various portfolios were assigned to different people by the platform, which ranged from local and diaspora crowdfunding and non-monetary donations handled by EcoCash and Stewart Bank. Procurement and logistics ensured that edible and non-edible items were procured and transported to Mutare Bottling Company. Warehousing and receipts, a portfolio that was handled by Mutare Bottling Company, ensured good stewardship of donated items, not to mention efficient and timely distribution.
I must say that in the last 3-4 days we've been working flat out, trying to get these goods out into the areas to try and ensure that the victims have access to water, food, clothing, blankets, you name it. We are also working with the Civil Protection Unit, the local command center here in Mutare, in terms of coordinating and ensuring that we are aligned to the government position in terms of the whole process.
Distribution of donations portfolio ensured all donated goods reached the final intended beneficiaries whilst keeping proper records of that.
We were overwhelmed by the support we got from common people who came to volunteer. They volunteered their time, they volunteered their skills, they volunteered their cars. They simply gave of their own to come and support their fellow brethren. So volunteers across the divide, some from the local communities to start with that were affected, those that had survived were willing to help others. But we had also volunteers coming from church organization. I already mentioned from our own organization, from different organizations. People across the borders even, all volunteered.
The command center ensured seamless coordination of all relief efforts, including managing epicenters and rescue camps and directing assistance accordingly. Rescue efforts portfolio focused on the stranded, including those in inaccessible areas with the aim to offer assistance. Medical assistance portfolio provided medical supplies, doctors and other health personnel to assist victims. At the beginning of the intervention, no less than 10 doctors were dispatched to Chimanimani, Chipinge and surrounding communities.
We've been on the ground, obviously, since the beginning of the cyclone relief effort, which started as what they call a search and rescue effort, which is really to look for the people that are broken, that are injured, the missing, and even, the retrieval of dead bodies. But as you do that process, it obviously involves, bringing the people that are injured, the people that are sick, and as we're doing that, we're then bringing them to this place. This place that you see in the foreground is what's called a stabilization camp or a holding camp, where there are doctors, from different places, MSF and many others that have been working, treating the patients after the medical evacuations, which the helicopters have been doing around this area. So basically this is a stabilization holding camp where people are coming in, to be stabilized, to be treated.
Funeral assistance portfolio ensured timely disbursements of EcoSure claims and distribution of coffins. EcoSure provided more than just body bags and coffins, but also enlisted services of some of its funeral service providers to be on the ground and assist with decent burial of the deceased in all the affected areas. Impact assessment of damage portfolio used drones from Drone Africa to assess infrastructure and other damage. PR and communication portfolio helps to support the advertising for fundraising and relief efforts through different media channels. Corporate partnerships for mobilization of resources portfolio spearheaded collaboration with various corporates, NGOs and other organizations to mobilize resources for Cyclone Idai victims.
I would also like to thank you also for the leading as part of the first responders when it came to the Cyclone Idai victims and mobilization of the support and the rebuilding of Manyikaland and all the areas which were damaged by Cyclone Idai. I really want to thank you for that.
Security and controls portfolio ensured the safety of all donated resources and zero pilferage.
Our main objectives was to ensure that we assist the affected communities in Manicaland, and we have done around 55 trips with a total tonnage of approximately 68 tons, which has been delivered to the affected communities. A lot of effort is being put to ensure that people are assisted. Our main challenge initially was road access. And this has been overcome by making sure that we use helicopters to ensure that we deliver food.
And so the helicopters that you see in the background is one of a number which are being used at the moment by the Econet group to transport aid, food and blankets to people in need. There's two areas mainly talked about, which is Ngangwe and Kopa. And of course they were probably the most devastated areas, but you do have a situation where within the wider Chimanimani and Rusitu Valley areas, there are other settlements where the effects of the cyclone might not have been so devastating, but because the roads have been cut off, the bridges have been washed away, people can no longer access food or go to the shops to buy food. And so you've got communities in pockets like Shabiso, Muchadzia, Vimba, Rusitu itself, and the area around Rusitu Mission. There's Rusitu High School also within Rusitu Valley. They've also received some aid. You've got places like Chikukwa, far off beyond Chimanimani. They've also received some aid. So there's a lot of focus on the major areas, but there's also equally important focus on the minor communities and the villages surrounding the Chimanimani area.
We've moved maize, we've moved medicines, we've moved all manner of things for people. We've done 2 flights to get injured babies to Mutare for the hospital. It's all gone very well so far.
Cyclone Idai left a trail of destruction and affected different people in many various ways. Some perished and were never afforded the opportunity of a burial. Some remain missing to date, whereas others survived but still bear the burden of bereavement. Many were injured and needed urgent and continuous health care, whereas the majority required food and water assistance. Camp Econet, collaborating with the Civil Protection Unit, CPU, the military and police, had a clear strategy to achieve their goals.
Kumba kwedu mauta yakadirika foundation ichebva yarowe imba yakaenda korigire vana pakadirike imba masofa akabva aende komanikana ichobva aende komanike mwana achibva afa mwana wendanga ndinayo mukomana vamwe takazovhenyengura mumavhu izvozvi tiri kutorara pabanzi mazenge bhatsesi akaondomoka mavhetsenge angadzika tenda nerubatsiro rwetapuwa padambudziko ratasangana naro tongoti vanhu ngagara angori nesu achitirangarira nedambudziko ratinaro.
Matenda zvikuru vatibatsira sezvo takasiyiwa tiri pachena mabhurangeti panga pasisina kana hwani apa tanga tichibatsirwa neamwe mudzimba mavo maanogara saka pari zvino tautanga kudzokera kugara watega tichizvibikira tega chikafu chekuzvidya mumadzimba dzedu.
Tinotenda nozvakaita because takasara tisina nechiunhu pakaitika dambudziko rakadai kubva patakatorerwa zvese ndokutotanga kutoona kubatsira kutanga nhasi saka tinoti kudai vairamba vakadaro kuti tiwanewo kurarama because hatina chitakasara nacho muruoko.
Tototendawo Econet kuti ngairambe yakadaro ichitotibatsira ngekuti tiri kuate pabanzi anhu eshe akapere kutorwa hama dzakapere kutorwa apana pamadhomeni mukopa imomo saka toda kuti ngairambe yakatodaro ichitotibetserawo kuti tione upe kutorarama saka izvozvi chikafu tapuwa taikumbira kuti ngatitsvake matende kuti tinombone pekutombovata pane zvino.
Mvura yakatanga kunaya vanhu vakaerera dzimba dzikadonha isusu tori mubane vanhu saka tinotendawo nekuti mwatirangarira nezvekufuka taatisi torina nezvekufuka chaizvo. Tora nevana vaviri vakatorwa nemvura vakashayikana nhasi iko zvirasira taona tirikutoshushikanawo kuti dai taibatsirikanawo vari kuzwawo pana anhu kodai avhurwa abuda taaonawo.
Tinotofara chaizvo nekuti hatina tanga tisina kana pekutangira saka tinotofara nezvaitika izvi. Takandozoona zvatoitika nousiku mvura yanaya saka takangozomhanya kuda kuti tione kuti tofamba sei kwakubva tatotorwa ngemvura kwakutoponerawo mumuti vamwe vakangoponawo vakatobatirawo zvakabatira ndokutorarama kwacho kwetakaita mhatso dzese hapana nepekutangira.
We really appreciate all the efforts that's being put together so that the families out there, the communities, the children and the women out there can also be assisted and also get relief and also get help so that their welfare is catered for.
Going forward, we're going to continue to ensure that, lives are restored, homes are restored. Schools, children will continue to go to school.
The Econet and Cassava team came to Manicaland with a sole purpose, and this was to identify the challenges which befell the people in those communities and becoming part of the solution.
We are in a world that is vulnerable to disasters. And we have to keep our faith in God. For me, that's fundamental, that God will give us the capacity to weather the storms, irrespective of what kind of disaster strikes us. But I think what is key is the ability for human beings to come together to help each other. I think for me, unity and being united in the face of adversity is an incredible platform upon which God uses to release His blessings.
Higherlife Foundation, driven by young people within the organization, committed to see more lives saved and livelihoods rebuilt, launched a new campaign affectionately known as Pledge Idai, #TheNextMile. The model of the campaign was simply give and share. Every dollar donated would go towards efforts on the ground in Malawi, Mozambique and Zimbabwe.
If you went to Chimanimani right now, they will tell you that the first people that responded to the crisis was the community itself. So they're trying as best as they could to help each other. The next group of people that they saw, it was the Zimbabwean army. The third group that they saw was Higherlife Foundation in Econet. It's because of us having an office in Manicaland, so we had a team that was immediately able to be on the ground.
The search and rescue phase is only the beginning of a very long journey. Higherlife and its partners, Econet and Cassava, stand side by side with the people of Chimanimani and Chipinge in what will be a long road to recovery. In light of the heartache and disaster of Cyclone Idai, organizations like Higherlife Foundation, with support from corporates like Econet and Cassava, have the ability to turn adversity into opportunities. Their continued resilience and optimism, while ensuring that in time the disaster will build unity and a new life for all those affected.